Hello everybody and welcome back to another Magic Arena draft where we are into a new set with Lorwyn Eclipsed. I'm quite excited as I used to be quite the fairy modern player back when I used to play paper, so kind of super excited to see what they have got and if there's any kind of nostalgic vibes from obviously the previous sets. But I don't know too much about the set, so my chatting will be probably quite minimal as I'm going to be learning as we kind of go. So let's just have a quick look at the rare landfall. Whenever land you control enters, create a 3/4 folk creature token. That's probably an okay one. 6, 7, 8 mana might be a bit expensive, but maybe I take it. Actually, maybe that's quite expensive for what it is. Maybe I can stick with the rogues, the fairy kind of stuff. Being as I was, yes, I mentioned the old kind of fairy player. So let's just take a familiar face with a foe that. So familiar rogue fairy that kind of draws and pings. So what else we've got? Maybe we stick with a blue black, another rare. Whenever you cast this sort of sorcery spell from your hand, exile that card from Dream. I did see this one actually. Why is that being passed? There's 2 rares, so unless there's a 3 rare pack, but that seems pretty good. Even though obviously it's not in the fairy colours, but double red. Getting your spells back is probably what I'm going to be looking at. Okay, so maybe there is a giant theme in red. Should have actually looked at the colour pairings before I joined, but that seems like a particularly good one. Maybe there's red, blue spells of some sort. Goblin. Beginning of your first main phase, blight 1 if you do create treasure, 3/2. Sure, that's probably a good, nice kind of fixer again. And 2 mana 3/2 is fine. You don't have to blight as well, but I guess it's good if you need to ramp or fix. So what else have we got? So the red, black is some blight. I know that the fairies is also kind of got a blight mechanics. I guess it's kind of like the Grixis colours which are blighting, though there might actually be some elf blight mechanic as well, though I suppose there isn't actually any +1/+1 counters in the whole set anyway. So let's just take another rare here. So maybe we can kind of go some goblins decks. There's -1 counters there, some removal, which might be actually quite a nice one. What's this? Nightmare Sower, flying a lifelink whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn. So I guess that kind of works with the Voracious Tome skimmers. During opponent's turn, you can put a count on up to 1 target creature. So obviously not your creatures all the time, though I suppose if you have some blight mechanics. But I think I'll just take the possible removal, and again the counters can possibly work if I'm doing some blight stuff as well. Flying lifelink. I guess that kind of still works. I still take the removal, that's fine. Unbury. I've actually seen this a couple of times as well. That seems pretty good at being 2 mana instant speed, essentially being able to like return 2 creatures, especially if you've got some changelings. Could stick with the Seer. That might actually be a bit better. Again, it's kind of stick with some removal and instants and sorceries which work with the Daydreamer. Well, so we've got lots of these mischievous sneaklings coming around. Burning Curiosity has an additional cost. You may exile top 2, and if the additional spell cost was paid, exile the top 3 instead. We'll just take a Seer. A Bark of Doran. So I guess it's kind of like the old Doran where it deals... the creature does damage based on its toughness, is that right? As long as the creature's toughness is greater, it assigns a year. And Dawn Hand Eulogist. Menace, when it enters mill 3, then if it's an elf in your graveyard, I guess that's not really what I do. So I guess I could just stick with some giants. Enters with 2 other counters, remove a counter from the target creature can't be blocked, sure. Stick with the red. Okay, we've got some white and a bit blue coming around now. So not too much black, though I suppose there was quite a bit on the early packs. It's a Merfolk Wizard. A white shapeshifter entities return up to one target creature you control. Guess I'll just stick with some Grixis colours at the moment. Okay, here's a bit of black coming around. This is one of the vivid, so more the 4 or 5 colours, or even 3 colours I suppose. Each opponent loses a life and you gain life each permanence. I might even just take one of these 2 mana flash changelings instead of these things. So that, yeah, I don't think the Dawn Hand's really going to be what I'm looking to be doing with the black. Squawk Roaster, double strike vivid, equal to its power and colours, so it's going to be a 1/4. Might be okay. Scout enters middle 2 cards. Again, I'll stick with the red over the other colours. It might be fine. 3 changeling. Add 1 mana and it becomes a 4/4 until end of turn. Or flash flying, when this creature enters, choose 1, tap and untap. That might be okay with the, but I'll stick with the changeling. Elemental Wizard, blight 1, discard, draw a card. And it's in red, or 3 mana whenever you cast a spell, 4 mana. Actually, let's take that one instead. And actually, it's probably okay with the Goliath. That might be quite fine. Fun to have. Reckless, and a white card. Okay, Grub Storied Matriarch. Whenever this creature enters, transforms into Grub, you can return a target goblin from your graveyard, and you can flip it, and it attacks. You can blight, and if you do create a tapped and attacking token as a copy of the blighted creature, okay, seems fine. In the colours of the goblins, Descent, Darkness, Descends, but I've got one of those already, didn't I? Or did I take something else? As Blight, Rot is 4/1 on a creature, and this is put 2 counters on each creature. Okay. So we've got some more goblins here, so I actually maybe want to kind of keep a mark open for the goblins. Maybe these ones might not be what we're looking for. So yeah, take the Grub, Glen Alendra Guardian now. Flash flying enters with 2 counters, -1 counters. Can remove a counter non-creature spell. Sure. Instant Thirst Identity, draw 3, discard 2, and discard a creature. That seems fine. 1 mana Goblin as an additional cost. Well, when this creature dies, destroy target creature and opponent controls a power 2 of that. Seems fine. So we'll take the 1-drop goblins. Maybe kind of go more red, black goblins. So there's a goblin assassin, which might be quite nice. Come back around, and maybe the glutton we can probably get. So yeah, let's stick with the goblins, I think. Temple Guard, so shocks are back. I don't know if they're all of the colours or if it's just half of the jewels flying. It's from the same as before. Could just take a 3 mana 2/3 lifelink. Elemental Warrior, target creature you control gains Death Touch lifelink, and when it dies you create a 2/2. So fine combat trick. But I think I'm just going to take, I guess, a 2/3. Not going to be in white or green, and I guess that's fine. But yeah, it's just technically a goblin, I suppose. What is this? Additional cost, blight, destroy target creature with mana value 2. If its spell cost was paid, you gain. So it doesn't kill anything big. Anti-sentence, reveals a hand, or you can give a creature -2/-2. Elemental, could just take an evolving wilds, and I just don't know if there's a huge amount of fixing actually in the set. I obviously saw the shock lands, and I think there's a 1 creature which is like 3 mana 1/1. It gives you, it's allows you to search for a basic, but I don't think there's anything else beyond that. Oh, what? There's a lot of blue coming back now. So blue on this left side. Well, what's this Oko do? Up to one target creature gains all creature types. +1 gives a creature -2, -0, and you can flip it to -3. You may put a permanent from them among them. -3, create 2 elks, and among the creatures you control, the chosen target get +2. Seems pretty good, and it's definitely splashable in my deck. Here's another mischievous sneakling, which I don't think I want. Goat Nab. Gain control of target creature. Non-tap it. Gains haste. Just your regular, normal treason type deck. Sorry, type card. Could take a 4 mana. This creature gets +2 for each other goblin you control. How many goblins have I currently got? Only 3. Wow, okay. But then I suppose actually there's changelings as well. So let's just again stick with the goblins. Feed the flames. 5 damage to target creature, and if it dies, exile it. Seems pretty good. Tree folk. When this creature enters or attacks, you can blight, and if you do draw a card, lose a life. Again, removals. Probably a safe pick. Don't need any of these other colours at the moment. Sorcerers and a goblin escape. So again, probably want to take the goblin here over a Springleaf Drum. That's a nice reprint to have. That's kind of another way to fix. Good with the merfolk deck, I presume. But I guess take a 2-drop here that can rummage away something. Do I want that for all creatures? Or do I want this goblin? Elder Auntie enters, create a 1/1. Sure, so 3 mana for 2/2 and a 3/1. That seems fine. Nice 1-drop there. So yeah, let's remove the blue stuff, I think, but maybe keep the Oko. Seems pretty good to maybe splash that. Sure, probably not going to be playing with that though. Hey, nice, the Auntie's Sentence came back. That's a pretty good one. Okay, what does it say? Selfless Safe Right. Flash Convoke. When it enters, choose a creature type and other permanents of the chosen type gain hexproof indestructible. It's a nice protection in the Elves deck. Actually, not many goblins in here. So it's giant for target creature you control deals damage equal to its power. Try to target artifact, and then Auntie's Sentence or a Gristle Glutton for a second one there. Guess I could take the giant fall though. My creatures aren't like huge, but maybe there's something big. Target creature you control, yeah. So I think I don't want to take anything else other than oh nice, so Blood Crypt. That's kind of a nice land to take there. Target creature gains triple haste. Again, that's probably an okay one that might wheel. An Auntie's Sentence. A Mischievous Sneakling possibly. What's this? Shimmer creature. That's the one we saw from earlier, but yeah, nothing actually in that pack really worth taking over than the Blood Crypt. Goblin, here we go. When this creature dies, if it had a -1 counter on it, return it to the battlefield. Sure, that's probably quite a nice one. 4/2. Boggart Prankster, and if it attacks a goblin you control, that's probably another one that might wheel. Actually, what's this? Chaos Spewer. When it enters, you can pay 2 to if you don't blight. Okay, that one might also, but let's take the Wretched Wretch, which because I had the Glutton as well, which allows me to blight onto creatures. Actually, Overgrown 2 might be worth splashing for the Oko, to flip the Oko. Actually, then maybe the Sourbread Auntie's probably better, because I guess I don't know if I'm really going to be running the Oko or not anyway. So yeah, let's just take the Sourbread Auntie here. Okay, that's a nice pickup there. If we do want to splash Oko, what else is there? There's another Heirloom Auntie that might wheel actually. Changeling Wayfinder, there's another. That's the other one I was thinking of further fixing, but let's just take the shock here. Dream Harvest, 5/7 mana. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they have exiled cards with total mana 5 or greater. And at the end of turn, you may cast them without paying the mana cost. And Dose of Dawn Glow. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then if it isn't your main phase, Blight 2. I guess I'll take that, but it seems a bit expensive for what it's worth. Changeling, 3 mana when this creature dies, exile top card of your library until the end of turn. That seems fine. There's also technically a goblin. Bogart Prankster's probably fine. What's this one? Exile top 2. Oh, I saw that one before. Guess I'll just take creature. Elf Scout. Don't think I'm going to be any of these. So probably not going to be Dream Harvest. That's at 25, so I need to remove 2. What am I removing? Maybe the Oko. Stalactite Dagger. Guess I can take that in case, but might not be. Elemental Sorcerer. That's the Elementals. Matters cards. Probably might not be playing that. Yep, that's the fairies. And when it enters, exile 2 creature cards from graveyard, you gain 3 life. Okay, probably not be playing that either. So let's see what we have got. It's a bit of a strange draft though, considering that's my first draft in the new set. It's not too bad, I suppose. I guess the Prideful Feastling might not be something, or even these Mischievous Sneaklings possibly. So let's see what we've got. So the Giant Fall might not be that great, honestly. Or even this Squawk Roaster is probably nothing. So again, it's only really, I guess it's got the dual, the hybrid mana from them, but honestly, it's probably not really worth fitting in the deck. And also probably the Nightmare Sower also. So how many goblins have I got now? 10. 10. Does it count the changelings? Might not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, it doesn't count actually the changelings. So technically I've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 goblins. And this might actually be it, honestly. Just that. Because that's 16 creatures. Don't think I want the Dream Harvest. Seems powerful, but 7 mana I think's probably a little bit too expensive for what I'm thinking of doing. I can probably try and get 1 green. Because I guess with the Oko, you kind of want to flip him, though, because I guess the +2 and the +1 if you don't flip him doesn't really do a whole much to the board state. Up to 1 target creature gains all creature types. So yeah, you kind of want to be able to flip him, I would say, for the -6. But then also some protection in the -3. Is there anything else I want to splash for? Probably not in blue. The blacks, don't think so. And then these red cards aren't anything. I guess the only thing I'm thinking about is maybe the Dream Harvest instead of the Oko. Because it is blue. And I've only got an Evolving Wilds and a Steam Vents. They're having at least 1 blue source for the Mischievous Sneaklings is probably fine. But then I don't have to have blue if I splash. If I have the Dream Harvest instead of the Oko, I might not need to have dedicated blue cards, and then the Steam Vents might like be okay. I kind of feel like having Oko, people might see him as being quite a problematic card and move their kind of attention onto him instead of me, based on like previous Oko cards that have come before him. Though the Dream Harvest kind of works with the Goliath Daydreamer, isn't it? So when this creature attacks, you may cast a spell from among cards you own in exile with dream counters on them without paying. It's like, if you get that twice, that's pretty backbreaking. So maybe it's worth doing that instead. So yeah, maybe we can do that. That could be like a good big top end card at the very end. Even if the auntie's not around, maybe the Dream Harvest can get something. Because again, the exile cards don't go onto the bottom, don't they? So if you get rid of a whole bunch of lands, then they just remain in exile. But I guess it's not going to matter too much when you've got 7 mana in the end game for the opponent. So yeah, let's just run it like that. So still can run the Steam Vents, of course, and an Evolving Wilds. And again, might not need any blue at all. So 7/7. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? So 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 7, 8, 9. So that's probably fine, actually, equal amounts of both. Yeah. All right, let's give this kind of goblin deck a go. Not too crazy, I would say, but hopefully we can loot away and got a little bit of kind of blight synergy, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, let's just give this a go and see how our first game into Lorwyn Eclipsed goes. So let's head on to game 1. Okay, here we are for our first ever game of Lorwyn Eclipsed, and we are a red-black goblin deck. We've got a 2/3 drop curve. The creatures themselves aren't crazy, some removal, but doesn't seem worth mulliganing. Let's see what we're up against. So green, so likely elves, or could be the vivid. Okay, so the red, so red green. What colours is that? Is that a vivid? Vivid colours? I'm not too sure. Kithkin. I know Kithkin is green, white. Maybe Kithkin is also classed as the borrow stuff. Not too sure. Another Sneakling. So what does this one do? Trample, and then whenever another creature you control enters, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When it dies, exile card into a library. Guess I can just play a 2/3 lifelink. I can then double block if need be. Not too fussed about these creatures dying or not. Sure. Yeah, I don't know too much about the combat tricks, so yeah, that's fine. Tweeze, sure. Ah, so they also had a Dream Harvest, sure. 3 colours also. Let's just get a Sizzling Changeling down. Again, happy to trade. Try and find something a bit more impactful off the top of the deck. Kithkin, this one do, costs 1 less. If you control a Kithkin and when it enters, draw a card, sure. No attacks, okay. So we've got 5 mana, and I can flash out or put counters on a creature. Let's just pass the turn. So that's done its thing. It's just a 4/3 that enters and draws a card, sure. So maybe they're more vivid if they're in those colours. Again, I'm not too sure which colours are what so much. Could technically flash in and double block, but don't think I need to double block, so let's just kill the non, or try and trade for the non-trampler. Sure. Take 3. Maybe I hit something with instant speed, who knows? There's the auntie, sure. And their own sizzling changeling. Yep. And I don't know if there are any counters. I'm assuming there are counters in the set. What does this one do? Enters hexproof until end of turn and some +1/+2, sure. Light 2. And it's until end of turn, isn't it? So I kind of need to, I suppose. A little bit awkward with the changelings, I guess. If I put it on itself. And we'll just pass the turn. Not having trample's a little bit awkward. So I can't just chump. Pummeler, what does this one do? There's one less for each colour, sure. Guess I'm taking 5. Yep. It's not looking too great here, unfortunately. This is sorcery only. That's instant. Question is, do I want to see what's in their hand? I guess. Okay, what is that? It's a changeling 4/2, sure. Where are all my goblins and stuff going on? So we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I probably want to kill the pummeler then, I suppose. Oh, maybe I should have done it with before they're drawn. No, okay. Five toughness, sure. Probably more removal, no doubt. Yep. Though even if I'd done another one, yeah, it's gonna make no difference. If I'd added the 1/1. Have to chump. And that doesn't do it either. Yeah. Oh well. Well, game 1, no wins for me. Not too sure what I could have done differently. I guess it was really that hexproof enchantment which probably messed me up a bit there. But yeah, I thought that was okay. Draws were a little bit awkward, I suppose, but I don't really have anything else that I could have probably drawn into. So anyway, let's just head on into the next. Oops. Okay, here we are for our second game of Lorwyn. Hopefully we can do a little bit better than the game 1. Ooh dear, that's a little bit awkward. Yes, I've got a 2-drop, but if I don't get a red source, I need 2 red sources. Yeah, I think that's a mulligan for sure. Okay, it's a little bit better. probably just want to get rid of the giant fall, I would say. As that's not going to be doing too much here. And let's behold our grub. So this is what can't block, sure. And yeah, let's look at their hand, might as well. Non-land permanent. Okay, so they've got an aura. So they don't have blue at the moment, so I don't care about that. 2 gilt leaf embraces, okay, well. I guess I just get rid of one of these 4 drops. When it enters, creatures you control get +1, so it's just a 3/4, but then this one says can't be blocked by more than 1 and target elf, so I guess just the cavalry is probably one to get rid of. So all we need to draw now is some instants and sorceries. If you do create a tapped attacking, so I can't really do it to that. They both have menace, pay 1, you may blight if you do create a tapped attacking, but so yeah, probably not worth it, so that's just decline. Okay, so they're just gonna tap probably the grub, I presume. Sure. Yep, happy to just trade away there, that's fine. So what am I looking for now? Probably some lands or even just more creatures. I can then flip it, can't I? So I can pay red this turn and then next turn flip back. Is that right? So let's pay. If you do, no, so I don't want to do that, so let's just decline. Sure, and then can pay red. So I play back when this creature enters or transforms, return up to 1 target goblin card from your graveyard, so you can return the mud button back to my hand. That was obviously doing too much because it can't block, and at this point attacking is probably a bit awkward as well with their 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need to draw some, I know, removal or just something more than just lands. Obviously lands aren't bad, but they're not great either with what's going on. This doesn't have flash. It does have flash. Okay, so yeah, we'll pay. Behold. Even though I am gonna cast this out anyway. They're pretty good actually with grub in the sizzling changeling. Yep. Let's probably have another one. Might end up like attacking into me and hoping me to multi-block or something and then flashing out, but I think I'm just going to chump with the changeling to try and find something. Okay, they're not going to do that. Glutton, okay, that's a pretty good one. So yeah, I will pay, because in that case one of my goblins dies, I can then get it back, so I might want to put an upkeep stop on. So actually the glutton's actually pretty good with the curse tosser, I would say. Sure, wasn't going to attack anyway. So let's just pass. Put upkeep stop on my turn for the Gristle Glutton. Oh, okay, so they're going to try and push in the air. Gotcha. Actually, maybe I don't need to actually do... actually, yeah, I think I will still actually put up. I was considering maybe not just naturally drawing, but I think getting the mutton back is fine. Okay, so they've got... Oh, I don't want to discard though, do I? Because I actually kind of want that card. So yeah, maybe we'll just draw naturally, that's fine. And decline. So actually I can probably discard that at their end step. Yeah. Yeah, that's just pass, I think. Take another 4. I also need to start attacking soon. And put a -1 counter on that one, I suppose. Discard that, surveil. Because I want to get this one back. I guess it doesn't block anyway, so let's just do that. Discard. Draw. Okay. And... I think at this point I might just get the mischievous sneakling back. And other goblins I control. So which is probably pretty good because I can attack with the sizzling. Can I now? Oh, this creature gets... Oh, for some reason I thought it pumped other goblins, but it's not. That's fine. Well, I think actually no, they've got something else in their hand. I think if I attack with the Goliath... Well, I need to start attacking, otherwise I'm going to be losing this race, so yeah. This Dream Harvest is probably not what I want to keep a hold of anymore at this point. Sure. Don't think that was what they were holding on to. Okay, so that's what they've done instead, sure. They'll still get a token, won't they? But I suppose it's probably best just to... actually, let me think, because if they fight, they'll have 2 damage marked onto it. So I think actually it's probably fine. And first strike, oh, okay. Where did the first strike come from? Was it this thing? Yeah, okay. Six, 11, then dead next turn, so I guess I'm doing this. So I'm looking for my removal spell, not a land obviously. And okay, that's pretty good. I'm just going to do this now, I think. And I guess I play a 3-2. And hopefully they don't have anything. Yep. But sure. Well, try and get the land out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I'll just take it. Yep. See. Well, let's go to block first, because if they have anything, they have like some pumps, sure. Third gilt leaf, nice. Not sure I'd want 3 of them in the deck, but here we are. So 8, 9, it's at 10 lands now. Giant 4, not the best draw there with just a 2-2. Sure. That's also fine. Yep. And I'm going to do this now just in case he's got some kind of other pump spell. Actually, yeah, probably Oko would have been so much better than, I guess, the that 7 mana spell. But obviously still no blue, but... Oh gosh, come on. Give me something else other than just lands. Maybe this isn't even like a 17 land deck, honestly. Ah, yeah. That having flash is pretty brutal, and what a flood out at the end there. So yeah, maybe actually I don't need 17 lands in this deck. So yeah, maybe I'll just go back and 2 losses and no wins. Again, still the first draft, but wasn't expecting that. But anyway, let's head on into game number 3 after I have sorted out the land situation in the deck. Okay, here we are for our 3rd game, and hopefully it's not an automatic loss, as it would be pretty sad to finish my first ever draft. But I'm first with 3 lands, 2 3 drops and removal, so it's definitely a keep for me. I guess I probably want to get another black source maybe with Evolving Wilds, or a red source is probably better actually. Maybe a red source. No, let's get black, because I've probably got more black in my hand. I want to maybe possibly double spell. Okay, yeah, I don't need to show them the red-blue land at the moment, so I can flash out a Mischievous Sneakling at end step. Blue-white. Is there bounce in this set? There might be. Creature enters with 2 counters on it. You can remove a counter from the target creature can't block. Well, this doesn't pump goblins, so let's just do that. And I think I'll play this 3 mana one instead, if there is counters. 2 mana counters, I don't know. I think the only counter I'm aware of is the one that puts blight, or you pay 1 or something like that. Loses all abilities and becomes a 1/1, sure. And this is when it becomes tap to draw a card, discard a card. That feels like that's one I need to kill, so I'm actually just going to do this now. So they're kind of more merfolk, but obviously with some green, which I don't think is merfolk colours. What is this? Oh, this is the ramp thing, yep. And don't have any, that's a giant, so I can't quite get it back. Then maybe I can start lighting onto these mischievous sneaklings, possibly. Sig, okay, yep. Transforms, wisdom, whatever creature becomes. Whenever this creature deals damage, and whenever this transforms, target creature you control gains protection from each colour. Sure. Oh, shame that's not on the battlefield. Don't think I want to then because of wanting to keep a hold of the ransacking. Oh yeah, just notice I drew my one land, so I'm actually just going to decline. And loses all abilities, so just becomes a 1/1. Sure. Loses menace, they might obviously then block. Yep. That Noggle the Mind seems pretty good actually. Oh, come on. Need to draw something more relevant. Yep. Ah, wow. That's really unfortunate. Seven versus 3 lands. Yeah. 8 versus 3 lands. Okay, now they've drawn out of it, so this is probably where they start being able to deploy their hand. Yeah, if I didn't have this Noggle thing on my grub, then it'd be fine. Sure, they've had to get protection, a combat trick out of their hand, so it's still going to stay on there, the counter at least. 2/1. And I don't think there's any way that I'm going to be able to get the grub, so I get this Noggle off the grub. Prankster. Ah, gotcha. I did not know that could... Forgot that it transformed. Okay, so if they're holding up 4 mana a turn... Sure. You know what? We'll just get rid of the grub at this point. It's not doing anything. Yep. This is where I wish I'd had the -2 to all creatures. I kind of felt like I didn't really have much blight. Oh my god, what's that now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 versus 5, so twice as many. Yeah, twice as many lands as they have. Glisteban's very good. I have seen this one as well, so that's going to pump up something for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take 9. Yeah, I'm not winning this, I don't think. Just wasn't. Yeah. 11 lands. Yeah, this was not meant to be, unfortunately. My first round, so that's 5, 6, 7 in the air. 8. Like, it should swing with all, shouldn't they? Because if I block here, block there, it's 8 exactly. Like any kind of. See, even if I blocked that, so yeah, they missed lethal, but again, not much I can do from this, but we'll see what we draw anyway. Yeah, we literally drew all of my lands. What was that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands. Anyway, well, match game, whatever you want to kind of call it, attempt draft number 1. Fast introduction into Lorwyn. I thought it was going to do fairly well. Like, I guess the goblins were a little bit lackluster with the changelings and whatnot, but would have been nice to have done something with the Goliath, though I only got it in the one game, and even when the game was there, never seemed to actually draw any spells. But anyway, thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.